What up? What up?
Hey,
What up? What up?
hey.
What's
What's good,
up?
man? What's good?
Man, not much, man. How you guys doing?
Chilling, man. And let the
That's what,
people know this is not the quarantine edition. You always got the beard and the mustache and the
yeah, man.
style.
This is me right here, man. I think this is my old afterlife right here. My Logan.
You looking like
uh,
Logan there, bro.
oh man.
Like you probably hit a couple of jungles and woods and valleys naked doing yoga and everything.
I have back in the day. I haven't got that extreme in my older times, but I might at some point.
But yeah, man,
Man,
we appreciate the time, bro. We just want to, like, this is not your quarantine look because this is your look all the time, which is your
right.
trademark, by the way. But we're gonna do a quarantine pull up on you, man. So how you
Okay.
doing through these times, bro? Like, what you doing to pass time away?
Man, I'm doing well, man. I mean, honestly, Spike Dog, outside of it being, the virus and people being sick and getting sick, this is actually like this has been my last like few years. So I feel like everything's just as normal as for me. So it's going well though. I'm enjoying it.
You chilling, man. I see you getting on that grill out there, man. Next time you come to the A, you're gonna have to chef it up for us, man.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna have to. I mean, Spike Dog he got the best grill. He got the green egg. I don't have that one. I tried to use a smoker, man, but I don't think I'm really good at the smokers. I tried to smoke some meat the other day, and a little while back, and it didn't turn out good at all, man. I thought it was gonna be bomb. I tried to do it all day long, and it didn't work, man. I've been into that meat, and it tastes like jerky. I mean, it was tough, like jerky, and I had it going all day long too, man. That's what's crazy.
Hey, man, how you gonna let a cat from New York come down south and get smoke and learn how to smoke better than you, man? That ain't right.
Man, I don't know. I've never really been a big griller. That was more my daddy. I just know how to cook on the stove, so I'm pretty good at that. And I just learned probably 2000, maybe 2011, 12, 13, 14. That was the first time I actually just grilled that much. So, but no, I'd rather cook on the stove, man.
Listen, man, we know you're a native straight out of the good state of Tennessee. We think about Rocky Top, Brewston, Tennessee.
Okay.
You and Tutan have something in common. Both of y'all went to Ole Miss.
Thanks.
And so, like, you grew up not too far right from Tennessee, man. So I always wanted to ask you this question. How in the hell Tennessee let you go and you decided to go to Ole Miss, Oxford?
Yo, chill, though. Hold up.
I see that, man. I see that. Like Auburn is just probably a little bit better, maybe. But no, man. It was a crazy. I mean, it was a crazy story behind that, and really, ever since I was young, Tennessee was growing up in Tennessee. That orange and white, that was the thing to do. It was almost like guaranteed wanting to be a cowboy, seeing those colors. Cause I only had 3 channels growing up, 7, 11, and 16, and only teams I was saw on TV was Tennessee Vols and Cowboys. So, and Ohio State every now and then. But yeah, I wanted to go to Tennessee, and when the time came, I really tried to show them I was really interested. I would go up there on unofficial visits. I mean, not after the game. Me and my guardian dad, we would drive up there. I mean, it would be 5 hours. It would take us to get up there. And we get up there, man, we sitting in there, and everybody else coming in, the big recruits, and they getting love. And, the first time I was kind of like, okay, cool. Maybe if I just keep on playing hard enough during the season, like when I come the next time, they would have heard about it and they'll show some love. But after the third or fourth time, making a 5-hour drive, I finally was just like, okay, something ain't working, man. My dad always say, if you want to know something, you better ask, boy. And so I went up to the coach and I said, Coach, I understand you guys are coming in on official visits, but I've been coming up here on unofficial visits, like using our own dime, and y'all ain't said nothing to me, hadn't, showed no kind of love. Like, just want to know what's up, And man, sometimes, I ask and you get the real. And it was Coach Berry, the offensive line coach. Mind you now, he had came one time before. I don't know if he was just passing through my little small town, but he came to my school, and I thought, like, man, that's big time. They must be interested, really interested. He stopped by the school, and now, I mean, after hindsight, I know what it's all about. But anyways, he says, we recruiting 2 other guys. I think it was Daniel Brooks, rest his soul, RP Daniel Brooks. It was recruiting him and Ernie Sims out of Florida. And they say, no, we pretty much don't, we're not really interested. And besides, we don't know if you're going to make your ACT score. And I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, yeah, but I'm really trying. I said, I don't know what it is about that test. That test is hard, man. I mean, I went to class, I would do my schoolwork and stuff, but I don't know what it was about trying to take that big old test. But anyway, he told me, he said, long story short, we don't know if we pretty much not interested in you. I ain't gonna lie, it hurt. It hurt, but it was probably the realest thing that I needed to hear, because I remember, riding on the way back home, I had tears coming out of my eyes, and it wasn't tears like I was sad, like I didn't feel like I was not anything. It was more so because I just knew how much I was willing to give that school if you just give me an opportunity, give me a chance. Like, I'll show you what I'm about. And when you tell me that, you're pretty much not interested and you don't know if I'm going to make my scores and all that stuff, I just like, all right, well, now, what's next? So long story short, my guardian dad, he said, why don't you wipe up those tears and why don't you go play against a school that plays against them and show them what they missed. And right there and there, the green light came on. I was like, that's what I do. But I didn't really know, I wasn't really knowledgeable at that time per se. Like, really know what schools really played against them. I knew Memphis that played against them one time, but that was Conference USA, and they would get their head beat in. And I would say, I don't know about that, but I wasn't getting recruited really big. So, I didn't have a lot of options. And then, man, out of nowhere, Ole Miss pops up. And that was, to this day, I still say one of the best decisions that I made was going, them telling me that and me going to Ole Miss.
Sure, man. I actually feel the same way. Obviously, I came from New York and went all the way down to Ole Miss. But for me, the thing I loved about the school and the people down there was the love that they actually showed. What, man?
That's a long way. That's a long way to come from New York.
Anytime I say something about New York or Ole Miss, he gives this funny look, like he got something to say, man.
No, I know he come up out of Sandersville, like this. Like, I mean, I could see him coming out of Sandersville and going to Georgia before I could see you coming away from New York and going to Ole Miss.
I tell you the best thing about Sandersville, Georgia.
What's that?
Mama Spikes live out there. That's the best thing.
Yeah. And that pond that I still yet to catch a fish out of. Right?
That's right.
This the same dude who caught a fish that weighed less than a half a pound and was afraid to take it off the hook. And what my mama told you?
Hold on. Before we even get to that, I caught 5 fish. I caught the most fish that day. I caught the fish. There's no need for me to touch the fish once I catch it.
Oh, come on, man. Oh, Spike dog. Hey, they make them different up that way, man.
What my mama told?
His mom looked at me and said, "You ain't baked the fish?" I said, "No." She said, "You ain't touched the fish?" I said, "No, Mama, I caught it though." She said, "You ain't no man."
Yo, hey, I can hear Mama Spike saying that straight like that too.
Oh man.
Man.
So, Ole Miss was dope for me. Obviously, I had to go through Mississippi to get to the NFL. That's my story. But what was it about Ole Miss that you like? What was some of the best things that you liked about going down to Ole Miss?
Man, what I really enjoyed about Ole Miss was just my experience there was, it was one to remember. And I still say this to this day, if I had to do it all over again, even knowing what I know now, even if I could go to the schools that was supposedly bigger than Ole Miss, I would have went back to Ole Miss again. I mean, that's how much I enjoyed it. I mean, from my teammates, even though I went through a bunch of coaching changes, I enjoyed the coaches there, just the town, the people. I mean, you there handling business, and they embraced me with love, and I feel like I earned it, and it was mutual. So it was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it. And outside of that, man, it was really the fact that they came in and told me what they told me when I was going through the recruiting process, and where I really wanted to go, didn't want me, and they came in and said, well, you know what? We don't care, how many times, we don't care how long it takes you to get the ACT, and if you don't get the ACT, then we will, you can go to a junior school, and we'll be there for you when you get out. And just showing that kind of commitment to me meant a lot. But I was determined. I was determined to make that score. And so I had to take the ACT 5 times and do the composite, put the composite together. And that's why I tell people sometimes when they, you hear people ask you questions. I feel like sometimes they just want to ask you questions just so you talk. And I'm like, listen, if you ain't asking me because you're serious, I really don't feel like talking. Like I know if you're serious or not. And for me, I knew how serious I was. That's why when I was like, if I had to take this thing 5 times and pass each one, focus on each one, and then pass each one and put it together, and that's what I was willing to do. And right at that time, the grading scale, if you had a good GPA in school, then your ACT could be, I think it was right at a 17. It was, and I was able to do that because, like I said, I went to school, I did my work and whatnot. I just had a hard time taking a big old test, man. But lo and behold, I got it done. Was able to get the scholarship to go to Ole Miss, and even went to Ole Miss early. Went in the summertime. It was so.
And balled out.
Balled out. Sure. Hey man, I was on a mission, man. That wasn't the end all be all for me. So that was just one more step to get me to where I was trying to get to. So,
bro, like you balled out, undoubtedly. Greatest linebacker that ever came through Ole Miss.
Right. Man, I appreciate that.
And you're very humble about it. So I'll toot the horn over here, you know what I mean? Because it's well-deserved future Hall of Fame.
Appreciate that, Spike.
But fast forward, first-round pick of the 49ers. You came in up under the regime of Mike Nolan. Mike Singletary was he was the defensive coach. But before we even get into the 49ers, which a lot of fans are on now, like, what was that draft process for you, though? What was the process and understanding just going through it? And what was the anticipation as far as waiting for it to happen?
Really, man, it was just the experience itself. I couldn't have sat before then and try to think it all out. It was more so for me. I was just like, every day is a new day, one day closer to hopefully it all happening. And for me, like, I had seen it ever since I was young. I was type of, I didn't, most people say, I wake up, I had this big dream. And so I wake up and I'm trying to do this dream and I'm trying to fulfill this dream. Football for me wasn't necessarily a dream. It was a vision. Like, I saw it and I was like, man, I love playing sports. I enjoy playing ball. Like, I said, I'm going to do that. Like, I'm going to do that. It's like I saw myself doing it. I wasn't dreaming it. I was looking at myself doing it. So when I saw that, I was like, man, if I could see myself doing that, like, that means I just got to put in the work. I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I'm going to do it. And my day always said, if you want something, you got to work for it. And I was willing to do that, man. I was willing to just, give it all that I had. And years later, here we are, man. So that process was unbelievable itself when I think back on it, just the dedication, just all the training, the 90-10 they call it. And then you saying, well, it might be 90-10, but I'm going to go 95-5 or I'm going to go 100, like just making sure you do everything that you need to do to, to give yourself that chance. So
that led to a storied 8-year career. First round pick. Did you know you were going to be a first round pick? Did you really, did you feel that? And then also, what will you tell the new guys that are coming to the league about that process?
Yeah, man. That first round pick was really interesting because, unless you went to a big school and had, a lot of hype behind you, or just, I don't necessarily say a lot of hype, but unless you went to them big schools and won a lot, you didn't really get a whole lot of love. I remember hearing all the knock and perhaps so. I'm the first to admit it. I think I got better each year as I continued to play ball because I was nowhere near what I had became early on. When you see some guys, they just got it like right off the bat. Me, I had to work constantly. Like, I was long, lanky, had to get some muscles. Like, I had to learn how to be low. I had to learn how to master I don't want to say master position, but I had to learn how to play it because I was an athlete. You could just put me anywhere and I'll make it happen. But to really, truly become it, you have to really buy all in. And so that I did, but then just really what I would say is, don't listen to all the scribes and pundits, as Harbaugh would say. You got to really, truly believe and know that you are destined to go there and you're destined to be at that next level. And for me, Shit, like I said, ever since I was young, I knew. I said, man, I'm going there, even if it take everything out of me. Like I'm gonna get there, and it did. But so when I got there, it wasn't a matter of me being like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I mean, I'm like, man, I put in all that work all the years. Like something better pay off. Like some results better. Yeah, it has to. That's just the way I am. I believe you put in the work, you put in the time, and you really about it. You dedicate. I mean that. I slept it. Like I ate it. I breathed it. Like I mean. Shit, I mean, excuse my language, but man, I mean, I can't say it no more than that. Like, it was really, I was serious about this, not half about it, but I was serious. And so when they told me that, I think when they were doing that process, Tutan and Takeo, they said, yeah, he's gonna be like the fourth middle linebacker taken, and outside linebackers go first. And I mean, I was hearing all, I mean, I heard it all, right? I heard it all, but I was like, man, they must not know. Like they don't know what they must not know. They don't know what Simeon said. And man, they put me so far behind. I said, if I can run and we can work, like man, you might be bigger than me, you might be fast, you might have went to the other schools, but but you're not gonna outwork me. I'm gonna make it hard for them to be like, you know what, we might pass on this guy. And don't get me wrong, that's speaking with respect out of the other guys doing their thing and grinding themselves. But I mean, I was just. Again, I was determined, man. And when I was the first linebacker taken, I remember telling myself, I was like, man, hell no, I'm going to be the first linebacker taken. I told myself that. I was it. I didn't have to go and tell the world. I didn't have to go and talk about it, boast about it. I told myself that. So that was something that me and myself had. And so every day I had to give myself that, or else if I didn't, I mean, who would I be hurting? I mean, it would only be myself. So, yeah, so that process was interesting. I would say don't listen to where they say you might go, where you guarantee to go. I mean, even if you do go there, you still got work to do, man. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Hey, and obviously, before we even get into like the visionary part, because you did a whole lot, man. Shout out to some of the Niners faithfuls who are out there watching Niners, NW, Niner Nation. They giving a whole lot of shout outs, man.
Hey, forever faithful, man. Forever faithful. There's love there.
They want you and Spice to come back, man. You got anything left in the tank, man?
Man, how long it's taking me to get my body back to this point. I wouldn't know if I had. I wouldn't have it in me, man, to go back out there and do it all over again. I respect the game too much to go back out there just to be half doing it, or just to be out there just for the sake of being out there. Like I truly enjoyed. I don't want to jump too far ahead, but I truly enjoyed the ride and the time for what it was. And also, I also knew there was always, I always knew there was going to be life afterwards. I didn't know exactly when it would come or how it would come, but I knew it was going to be a time that it would end and something else would come, whatever that was to be. For me, it was just riding off into the sunset.
Well, before you rode off into the sunset, we need to have a time of reflection. So with this reflection time right here, can you recall that first moment to where you made a play or you talked about you being a visionary as far as like, I have to see it, and then after that, I'm going to go get it. Do you recall that first moment to where you had that big play or whatever happened and you said, you know what, I belong in this league?
Yeah, man, I think for me, it wasn't even necessarily a play. If I was going by a play, I mean, I would probably just counted myself out right away, because my very first play was a toss, and I never forget it was training camp. My first training camp, they done a toss. I mean, that was the second team or whatnot. They done a toss to Frank, but they done a toss G pool. And I wasn't really used to seeing toss G pools or a toss G or a toss tap. What was that? I think he was a guard, so toss G. And man, he came around there, and I thought, I see this big dude. He big. I ain't never seen him move like that. I mean, I seen him on TV, but I'm thinking I'm young, I'm fast, like put a move on him. Man, I went to try to do all that, and next thing you know, I felt my body just. I felt as if somebody I felt like myself. I felt like I left my body. I don't think I knew I was flying back like this way. I thought I put the move on him and done something. I thought I done messed around and hit Frank. That's how it just all felt weird and whatnot. And I remember all I heard was I felt myself going like this, really like holy shit, like this. And I heard all that as I was doing this. I heard somebody say, "Hey, you sounded too hard." I'm like, man, what is going on right now? I feel like a tornado, like everything had just hit all at one time on my very first play. That wasn't supposed to happen like that. first round pick. I'm supposed to, at least have a big pick or, make the play. Man, that didn't happen for me. And all I heard was Coach Singh going off, and I'm thinking to myself, like, man, what in the world have I got myself into? Like, what is this? Like, I got work to do. And it was all this happened in the same day. Now we at night meetings, and I'm frustrated with how the day done went. Oh, I even a special team that same day. Man, that's the truth. So that same day, come off the special team. I guess it's kind of like a walk through, like jog through. I really know what all jog through, walk through type of stuff was because Coach O, it was always grind, like going. Like ain't no your walk through felt like you was like already in practice. So first play I take off, come through, block the punt. I done hit Andy Lee Thone. They're like, hey, rookie, what are you doing? I was like, oh, man. Like, God, they finna send me home, man. I done got out here. They finna send me home, man. So I done did that. And I'm all frustrated. All frustrated with how the day had went. And now I'm in night meetings and Coach Singletary, he comes in the room and he asks a question. And this is before I had a greater understanding of, certain, when they ask questions, they ain't necessarily like on a literal term. It could mean something else or not. And he asked, and I felt like it was he says, how's everybody feeling? Like, how was practice? Everything's going on. And I'm sitting there like, no, y'all done yelled at me. I done got cussed out. Like, I don't know why y'all even draft me, man. Y'all put me in the middle. I thought y'all need me to make plays.
You got up and you said all of this when Singletary, he asked a rhetorical question. And
there you go.
You got up and you said, what?
Yeah, well, this is all that's going through my head in a matter of like seconds when he asked me. I'm like, I'm already got so much on me that when he asked it, I'm thinking like, yeah, I do. Like, I got something to say. Oh, I'm like, I got this. So right at that time, man, Coach Greg Minusky walked in. Big shout out to Greg because Greg said, stop drifting, Pat. So anyways, Greg walks in. He's a defensive coordinator. He was like, as soon as he walked in, I said, Coach Singletary, I got a question. I said, why'd y'all draft me? I did. I said, why y'all draft me? And as soon as I said, why y'all draft me, I felt something hit my desk, like somebody kicking my desk. But I thought he meant like, okay, go ahead, Pat, go ahead, like add you on, like go ahead. And I was like, why y'all draft me? Why y'all draft me and put me in the middle? I thought y'all drafted me because y'all need somebody to make plays. I was like, I don't know anybody making plays in the middle like that. I said, and besides, this is a 3-4. This is, again, my knowledge of defenses wasn't what it had gotten to. I'm like, 3-4, and that's for the outside backers. They didn't want to make all the plays. They didn't want to go to the Pro Bowl. Like, y'all draft me, put me in the middle. I don't know what Coach Singletary talking about, this shuffle stuff or not. I'm used to playing a 4-3 where you backstep one way, you mirror step when you go downhill and all that. Like, so I asked that coach, and Minushki says, he said, I don't know, Pat. He's like, just freaking play ball like that. And I was like, okay, well, by that time, Coach Singletary rubbing his eyes, I thought he was like, okay, you got a point. Like, we didn't bring him in on the visit. The backstory to that, they never brought me on a visit. So I never knew what they needed. I didn't like San Fran growing up. I was a Cowboys fan growing up. So it ain't like I paid attention to them or I knew in the draft who needed this and who needed what. I just said, man, wherever I go, like, I'm just going to make it a home and give it my best shot. So I still had these answers that were unquestioned. I mean, the question that was unanswered. And long story short, man, Coach Singletary kicked me out he told me to go out of the room. I'm out there in the hallway. Other guys start walking by because the meeting's over with. I'm thinking they looking at me like, I'm thinking they looking at me like, man, Rook, you gonna be that guy? You already here and you already skipping meetings. You in the hallway, ain't going back. And I'm like, no. They walking past me. I feel so small, man. I got kicked out of a meeting. All this in one day. Like, this is my first day. First day and night. And so I tell you, sometimes you gotta go through it in order to what people see to be, oh, it must have been easy. Like, I had to get my mind right real fast and whatnot. And so he called me back in there, and I just never forget the conversation that we had. And without going further and further on, I just remember leaving there. Again, I've always kind of been that person when I have tears, it's not sad, it's more so like tears of just, I don't know, like they water in my field. Like, I know it's time to grow. You're in that place where something's stopping you and it's like you got to get through it. And so I went to went to my dorm room. I was lucky. I was the first, meant to be the first round draft. They gave me my own room, so and like I had to go there. Had a roommate in there, and they were like, "Man, what you talking about? Why you over there pouting?" You know. And I remember I just got on my knees and I said, "Man, I just been having this conversation." And I said, "I don't care what it takes." But when it's all said and done, I just want to be one of the best. Like not the best, because there's always going to be opinions on who we think is the best. I just want to be one of the best to put on the jersey and strap up the cleats or whatnot. And so Spike Dog, that was probably, that day was really when I realized, like, man, why are you tripping? Like, you put in all that work. You're supposed to be here. You know you're supposed to be here. It ain't gonna be easy. And if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. And so from that day on, never forget, I woke up the next day and practice was different. I mean, been underneath that tarp. You know how that tarp was. You got that your second year, but as a rookie, I mean, that next day I was hitting his arm almost as if like my mindset was just, it was something different. Like I knew it and I never looked back, man. I never looked back. And so that, along with some other plays and things that kind of went on and whatnot, like it was just affirmation that, man, stop tripping. You here. Like, you here. And if you weren't supposed to be here, then you wouldn't be here. You'd be somewhere else. So.
Let me ask you this. What do you remember about playing against Gronkowski, and who were some of the best tight ends and running backs you faced while you were playing in the NFL?
Yeah, wow, he hit me with a lot at one time, didn't he?
We can take one at one time. What do you remember about playing against?
No. Which one you want to tackle first?
What do you remember about playing against Gronk?
Gronk. I mean, I think when we played against them, I don't know if it was 2012. We went up there and played them, and I'm not sure if maybe he was. I think he might have been injured or something. It was that year that we went to the Super Bowl, but we went up there, and just I remember. I think he might have been injured, so I really don't have a story on him. I mean, I had great respect for watching him play and just his ability to do what he was able to do. It was tremendous. But I was about to say, man, Tony Gonzalez. Tony Gonzalez. It was the NFC 2020 NFC Championship game at Atlanta, and me, my feet and turf don't get along. Didn't get along. And man, he had a way about how he just was able at the age he was. He began to, when he was young, he could just run and catch it, outbody you. But then he started really understanding like how to position the body and stick it and wind it. And me coming out of those breaks, I mean, he was just giving me the time of my life, man. I never getting the ball and said, Pete, you want me to get him? I was like, no, I got him, man. I'm gonna do this. Like I was like, no, I got this. Like, and so that was a great battle. It was a battle going against him the couple of times I did, and then Jimmy Graham. He's probably the one that we had to play. I feel like we played New Orleans like every year. They were not division, but I feel like we were playing them every year, and he was just, I mean, tremendous. And never forget, it might have been that same, or was it the same year? Man, 2012 was just a year to remember, boy. Or was it 2011? Anyways, when we played them there and they caught that, we was in the cover two. They ran them down the seam. And I always told Dante, I said, listen, man, I can run with them a little bit now, but I know they're going to have to throw the ball over the top of my head because, obviously cover two, I'm underneath, like, give them throw it over the top, and your safety, hoping they're going to be there, either pick it or get hit. And somehow, man, he was able to throw that ball, and Breeze put it on the money. Dante, we didn't get it done, man. And so him, and he's probably about to, I mean, I'm sure there's some other ones, but those two for sure. Witten, tremendous. And honestly, I just tried to be, I saw Spike Dog do what he was able to do on those tight ends. I always told myself when my time came to be the dime or whatnot, that backer that covered the tight ends, like as Spike Dog was for me as I was for when Navarro and I played. I just remember saying to myself, I'm like, man, Spike Dogs can do it and shut them down. So I know I can do it, man. One, I'm a little younger. Two, I think I might be a little bit more athletic because I know if we got a basketball court, like I think I can give him the works on the basketball court. So, but I think what made a big difference is, and Spike Dogs to you, like I always admire like just your knowledge for the game and how you just understood down the distance and just your IQ of it. And that was one of the things that I'd probably say, though I had began to understand the game and learn it in a little bit different ways. As you get up in those years, like the athleticism kind of starts to die down a little bit. You start having to really use that mental side of it. And for me, I kind of wanted to leave where it was kind of equally there, opposed to getting where now it's just me trying to use my main. Cause I was already doing that already with my feet, where I already had to think 5 steps ahead. So I burnt so much energy just having to worry about that. But yeah, so tight ends, those, and then running backs. Shucks, man. Steven Jackson would be probably biased because he's the one I came into the NFC West with, having to tackle that big rascal, man. He was shifty and had a stiff arm like no other, and he would have you almost fall, have you eating dirt. He wasn't careful. Yeah, he caught me with one. Yeah. He caught me with one. They ran an off tackle play, man. You thought you were gonna get through there, and he already tall. And he just, he ran kind of like high, but it was like light on his feet. But that stiff arm, man, like I saw he hit me with it. I seen him hit a couple people with that stiff arm, and then obviously, Adrian. Just a couple of times we played against each other. And my mindset with him was like, man, we got to get him before he gets started. Like, please don't let him get started, y'all. Like, and I love that defense. I mean, Spike, what our defensive front was all about was stopping that run first, and understanding how to stop that run was making sure that the gaps were condensed. We was stacked in there, and it wasn't no making them holes like this and running sideways. So just playing him, Marshawn, obviously.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you, like, because you're going into the running backs, and that's one of the questions a lot of people ask me all the time. Like, who was one of the toughest running backs you went up against, or one of your greatest memories of, like, one of the toughest ones? Who was one of those?
It'll probably be man. I mean, I want to get some scat ones. I want to get some I call it scat backs, like doing Reggie Bush type of backs, and that was that was challenging and fun. But I'd probably say Marshawn, man. Like his physicality, one, and then just his makeup. One, he low and he bow-legged, and when he running, he wobbling, but he powerful with it. And I never forget just thinking to myself, when we were playing against the boy, they already had that what do you call that, zone cut type of team where they come out and they get you running sideways and they cut you, and all he needs is a couple of steps, and he he's putting his moves on it. One man ain't about to really just tackle him like that. Like, I don't care how bad you think you is, one man ain't really just gonna break him down, but you can, and I've seen Navarro do it, which was pretty impressive. But yeah, that Marshawn, man, that sucker, whew. He was something else, man. Yeah, he was something else. I never forget that I broke my hand. I broke my hand in the game against Seattle, messing with P-Town. I broke my hand and whatnot, and I remember thinking to myself, I was like, man, I know it, 'cause I didn't had them broke a couple bones up to that point, so I knew my body started shutting down the way it was. I was like, man, I done broke a bone again and whatnot, and so they threw the ball. We had this coverage where, Spike, you know what it is, and when you the outside, what would you say? You got outside, you got the flats, but they run in cover 4, so you got to get some depth or whatnot. But yet they got double 2x2. They got the running back at home. They swing them, swing them around, and you way back there, and they toss it to them. And it's just you and them out there in open field.
Wide open field.
Man, they done it to Marshawn, and I said to myself, I was like, I gotta get there before he turned around. Like, and I swear to God, I came out of my break, I shut it, and I knew I couldn't tackle him. I knew I couldn't wrap because my hand was broke. So I knew I couldn't wrap. But I said, if I can hit him hard enough to jolt him back, maybe I can like hit him with that kind of force and knock him down.
Yeah, I didn't work out.
Hey, I came up out of that, and I swear, as soon as he got the ball, and so it was that old shit moment. It was that old shit moment when he got the ball and he turned around. It was almost like he got it perfectly. It was almost like, man, why couldn't it have just went down a little bit lower? Because this game was about inches in seconds. If that ball went a little lower, went it this way, that way, like boom, it would have worked. But he caught the ball and he was square, and he saw me right at that moment. But right at that moment, they saw me. He was just squared up and was like he was already in his running back position, ready to go through a hole, and I just went boom, and I hit him, and he just shook it off. It's almost like you finna fight somebody, and you walk up and you punch them with all your might, and they just go
look at you,
and shake it off. Like, I said, shit, man. I was like, I said, woo. I said, yeah. He real deal, man. He got something, man. And I'm not saying I'm just one that can go take anybody out, but I mean, I pride myself on being able to bring that sledgehammer when the time comes, and I mean, he shook it off like and got a couple more yards. And I ain't like that, but I give credit where it's due, man. So yeah, big up beast mode. We all train together too, so I knew these guys. Like we all trained together at API. That's what another thing a lot of people don't realize. I thought we was all like the X-Men at API. I swear, I mean, you had all those first round draft picks out there working out, running speed and stuff that was just ridiculous or whatnot. Training, and I just remember looking around and seeing Adrian, seeing Marshawn, seeing Jamarcus, seeing Debo, seeing Paul Pelesny. I mean, we were all out there, man. So imagine like every day we grinded or whatnot. So that was another reason too why I knew I was like, man, we've been working together for January, February, getting ready for, the combine. And then I went back and worked some more. So I just knew, I said, man, we've been working like this and these supposed to be the best guys from these respective schools. I was like, yeah, I said, I'm here. And I just got to make sure that when the time comes that we meet, like I can do what I need to do.
For sure. You mentioned you had a club on your hand. I think Spikes, you had one too, right?
Yeah, we had
y'all broke the same time.
Right? Both all in the same
time, same game.
Same game. Yeah, same game. I broke mine first, and then I hated that because I was like, damn, going man, like. Injuries suck, man. Like that's the thing that hurts. What a lot of people don't realize the most was when you get injured, it's having to come back through the rehab just to get back to where you were, then to get better than you were. I mean, that takes a lot of work itself. But yeah, I broke my hand the first, and then not even a series later, Spike Dog came and was like, Cap, I think I broke my hand. I was like, no way. He broke the other hand But I still say, man, what we give to this game, I mean, it was tremendous because we went and had surgery, and then turned around and played that Thursday night game and trying to get to the playoffs and got handed to us. Right now, you remember Coach Senior was talking about what Coach Senior said about San Diego before we went down there? Not before that week, but during training camp when he was talking about we go down. Hold on, man.
You tell me.
Hey, remember he said when we was in training camp, he said, we'll go down to San Diego. And Coach Senior, forgetting that. I love you, man. Remember he said, we were doing training camp. He said, yeah, we go down to San Diego, that team down south. We go down there, we'll kick that tails. We'll kick that tails like this. And so I'm thinking like, okay, he said it during training camp. So now here we are. It's a short week. We break our hand on a Monday. Break our hand on Sunday, had surgery on Monday. Back with screws up in our stuff, up underneath those wraps, and we out there just getting. I can't speak for anyone else, but I would try, but I didn't know if I was really all the way into it like I thought I should have been. We were just getting, man, we got worked, and the only thing was in my mind the whole time was, Coach, I thought you said that we could come down here and just whoop this team. and we went down there and got whooped.
Got handed to us.
Man. Yeah. So, no, that was a crazy game that we broke our hand in the same game, then played that same week.
And y'all gel so well on the field together. What do you say to that? You and Spikes?
Man, truly, big ups to Spike Dog. On that, I never forget not knowing what it was like, because I came in, it was me and Derek Smith at first with the 49ers, and that was my first year. Him and I played together, and I was just still, man, just trying to understand what it was like just to be in the NFL, what it was like to be a pro player. I was still trying to figure it out, and here I am now after the rookie season. Though we didn't win, we had a losing season individually. I was recognized for some things, and that's cool, but it's not the same unless your team is winning. But I also knew that, hey, I still got to get better. And when I realized that we was looking for a new linebacker and stuff, I wasn't sure. I remember they had Jeremiah Trotter. They was looking at. I forget who else they was looking at, and how they picked Spike Dog was. I'm still to the day not 100% sure, but I'm glad they did, because you were a pro in all levels, like from holding me accountable to just really no ego, man. It was almost like it's almost like I would say, as I had began to learn, like you just knew your role, I don't want to say like knew your role isn't like you can't be a good player in it, but he was just, man, you were just, I'm talking like you're not in there, but you were just a big bro to me, but a professional. I never forget, he would be like, P, all right, make sure you watch da-da-da tonight. But, you know, and I didn't really know how to watch film. I just watched film just to see if I could tell stuff. But he would give me certain things that I didn't even know about. And then just knowledge of the game, and just how to be a pro. It really put me in a place where I could really just focus and not have to try to what do you say, try to make myself a leader, or because I had been voted captain, I was able to just really just be myself and learn. And I was grateful to have Spike Dog. And it really helped me because when that time came for Navarro and I felt like, man, I had this same kind of, you know, love, same kind of no ego. Was about, hey, what can we do as a team to be great together? And yeah, and then, so if it went for Spike Dog, I don't know if I'd have been able to handle, if I'd been able to saw it in the way that in which when it came my turn to be that way, handle it in the way in which I did. So that, and then, man, just we country boys too, man. Like I know something. I know they had to do something with it. 'Cause we would laugh, man. You know how much we laugh, man. We laugh so much every day about something, about growing up in the South and dealing with, like, whether it was my dad. You like, Cal, what did Dad say about this? I'm like, man, my dad was just raw with it. I don't know if because he's a National Guard or if we just straight. I don't know, man, but I was just it was love. It was love. So I don't know, Spike Dog, what you think it was, man?
Hey, bro, it was that good old country living. You know what I mean? Because we had a lot of talent before we even like stepped on the field and never knew.
Yeah, yeah.
Talking about how you grew up and that we were comparing how I grew up, and I was like, damn, man. I was like, you my little brother for real though.
Yeah, and I felt it, man. I felt it, cause and not only that, because I think it's part of to this day, and I've had a lot of teammates, tremendous teammates that you know, much love and respect to. But you were probably one of the few that I can say, like, you know, me and all season, so I don't really have to go do a whole lot and go be all over the place. But it was hanging out with you the few times I actually went out of the country, and I mean, because after that, after you left or not, there's been a few times. You know, you have a couple people like, hey, man, you want to go do this? And I'm like, no, man, you might mess around. We might mess around and get over there and might not be able to get back. We get over there, don't know what's going on. Like, no, I done been with somebody that know how to travel and all that. And I ain't about to go there with some rascals that's young and ego. And I'm like, no, man. Like, so that was a lot of love. Oh, shucks.
You know, it's been in the comments. They want to know.
People want to know.
Talking about being out the country, Pat. We went out the country one time. We went to Rio. And if you watch the last podcast, Deion Grant told a story about how Pat was scared to go in the favelas. He was scared. We went in Racine, the worst hood in Rio. And Pat almost didn't make it out. So, Pat, here's your time. We got about 10 minutes left for IG cut us off. Got to come back. Tell us the story. Tell us the real story. The people want to know.
Well, first, I would say it started with when they talked about going over to see those we call it the hood, or not. We're gonna go over there and check it out. And the first thing that popped in my head was that scene from Friday when it was like, man, why you gotta come over here and mess with these good people anyway? They over here mind their business, doing their thing, but you want to go in there, just want to see and be nosy and find out what's going on, so you can say, hey, I've been into the slums. Like, I'm like, nah, I really don't care to be. I don't need to appease nobody. Tell me, hey, look how gangster I am because I went up in here. And lo and behold, man, we get up in there and they say, hey, y'all know what that road look like, man? That little small road. That road was smaller than country roads, like smaller than rural back area roads that I grew up in. I'm like, and we about to go up in here. How we gonna get out, man? Something happened. I'm like, have y'all not? All this stuff going through my head. I'm like, have y'all never seen the movies? Man, we're gonna get up in here and not be able to get down. Then y'all said we gotta get on the back of these motorcycles. I mean, these little tricycles. They look like tricycles. These are way bigger than everybody. And we're going up this little small path with trucks wider than almost the road. And we having to skin one time, man. I swear, y'all, we bumped into one. I swear, I told myself, I was like, I'm not putting my feet down. I grabbed the dude. I grabbed the dude tough. I was like, if we fall, you fall. I'm not putting my ankle down. And next thing you know, I done broke my ankle and all that stuff. So anyway, man, we get up the hill, get up there, and it was nice. We get up there, and I'm like, wow, this is like the movies, man. I'm picturing as if I done watched the movies 100 times and seen when they jumping over the slums or whatnot. And we up there, so I'm on the side. I'm like, you know, I'm gonna get me a little video, you know, going back down and whatnot to show that, like, well, I actually did come up in here. Man, we going down. Y'all done went down a little bit for me, so I'm trying to, you know, I'm making sure I'm conscious of, I'm aware of, like, hey, you can't video record nobody or whatnot. So I think I'm good. I'm just all like this right here, not realizing that by the time we got to the level spot, that the camera would actually be right there on the guy with that rifle. And man, I swear you not, when he saw that, I just never forget. I remember I couldn't see nothing because it was right in front of me. All of a sudden, I just heard somebody say, "No, no, no, no!" And I was like, I dropped it down. When I put it down, I saw it was him, and I was like, he's like, "No, no, 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 no!" I was like, "Oh, shut!" And I dropped. I tried to cut it off. I was like, "No, no, look, it's off." I was trying to show him it was off. I feel like I was in a movie. I feel like I was in a movie, man. You know, in a scary movie where they drop the key, they trying to get in the car, I'm about to do it, they drop the keys. I used to ask myself, man, why do you always gotta drop the key and drop the? Why they always gotta do that? And I did the same thing. I didn't drop my phone. I didn't drop the little recording thing. If it wasn't for the other guy said, "Oh no, 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 no. He's a tourist, or now he's a tourist," or something like how he was speaking. So he's like, "He's a tourist. He not, you know." And I was like, "No, no, man, no, it ain't nothing like that. Look, look." I was trying to show him. I was like, look. You can look, man. Look, you can see. And so no, but he was like, "No, no, no, no. I'll do, and you will fall." You know, and that's about the extent of it or whatnot. I mean, yeah, it sounds a little extra, but Dion have a way of really telling some amazing stories. So he made it sound he made it sound like the guy already had to clap back the clip, and it was just a matter of seconds before he just went. And by the way, y'all, my sister heard that story, right? I told her this a long time ago. She heard it when y'all was doing when I posted it or whatnot. She gonna hit me up right away crying and talking about, "Patrick, what you doing here?" I'm like, see, like, yeah, just ask. Like I said, he wasn't even like that. Like I wasn't gonna die. Like, and I was like, and besides, if that's how I was gonna go out, then hey, they would have an amazing story to tell.
But
so
you made it back.
We
all safe, had a great time. Here's the question: DG asked this. Are you still cool with him? Do you have any animosity about him making us go up there?
No, man, not at all. Like I said, if I could do that all over again, man, I would go back with you guys again and enjoy that trip. And man, just being able to hang out with the fellas, hang out with you guys, man. It was just another part of this life experience or whatnot. And I appreciate you guys having me with you. So,
hey, bro, you talked about when we got up on that mountain, and you pulled that camera out, and you were saying I was looking at the beautiful views of all the mountains and everything. So my question to you is, looking at that mountain, because I saw some of the same scenery you saw, if you had the opportunity to put up your Mount Rushmore of the greatest linebackers that influenced you or some of the guys who you thought were the best, what would that Mount Rushmore look like? Or who would it be?
Oh, man, Spike, you're going to do that one to me, man. I try to keep it fast and simple. First of all, I'm a fan of those who just go out and you just watch it on film. They give it everything they got, like every play. They ain't no half doing it and half going at it. And speaking of, linebackers, keeping it in the middle linebackers, I would say, obviously, Coach Singletary. Being my coach is one thing, but just watching him play the game, phenomenal. How he went after it. Obviously, Ray is another one. Just his passion and tenacity to play the game the way in which how he did. Urlacher, I was a big Urlacher fan. I just loved how he floated over. I feel like he was just in that 4-3 how they played. He floated in the middle or whatnot and can make play after play. London Fletcher. I have this thing to where when you have like just pick a few, it's always hard. I always say like, man, just put a dot there and just say anybody that has ever like laced it up and went out there and cracked some heads, like they should be on that Mount Rushmore or whatnot. Now there might be levels to it, but they should be on that mountain as well. So yeah, Urlacher, Ray. I didn't get to watch the great Dick Buckets that much or whatnot, but I saw some highlights. I grew up when I was in college. I would always watch on my day off that Sunday. I would always watch NFL greatest games. Like that's how I grew. That's how I came in to the NFL, watching that. You know, thinking like, man, this is how you got to play. This is how you got to hit. This is how you got to go after it. So, I mean, I just got love for the position itself, and of course, Spike Dog, man. You know, you up there with love too, man. So.
Oh,
Much love. Yeah, hey, man. I saw you. Hey, I was a fan of you, man. I was a fan of you before you even signed. I've been playing you on the video game, thinking like, why do you got him the outside linebacker? Like, he too fast. I'll put you in my middle linebacker. So, because you had speed or whatnot. So, that's when I was younger, man, playing Madden. So I just wanted to let you know that. I think I told you that before. Before we had played together, I never forget looking over and being like, I used to play with this cat on the video games, man. Like I used to look at attributes and be like, man, I don't want him being there. I think he should be in the middle. Like I don't know where you play outside backer at when I was playing with you on the game, but I feel like you should have been in the middle. So that's where I would put you at.
You did it, and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Before we let you go, it's always important to state what you're doing. A lot of people want to know what you're doing. Give them more insight. We already pinned it up on the Coach 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Coach 2 is it's a platform that really, it's a coach-to-coach platform that allows coaches to be able to share information, put up content for other coaches to be able to go on and check out that's looking for something new, or maybe just looking to grow more on what they already know, or even just share what they know. And this platform allows them to be able to do that. And during this time, it's been phenomenal. So everybody go there and check out Coach 2, coach2.com. And I hope you like what you see on there. Like I said, it's a lot of content from different sports. Some are athletes, sharing knowledge on there. And then a lot of it is really big for coaches right now. So yeah, you guys go check it out.
Sure, man. We appreciate you joining us behind the mask conversations, brother. All the best to you and your family. Make sure you stay safe out here. I know you're doing exactly that. I can tell by the.
No. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. And
whenever you come back to the A, you got to step in the studio with us too.
No doubt, man. No doubt. It's always love when I'm there, and miss you guys. And just big shout out to just all the fans, everybody who showed love throughout the years, who still show love. Big ups to my hometown, Brewston, Carroll County, Ole Miss, and just the 49 faithful, man. I appreciate y'all. You all be blessed.
Hey, man, we really appreciate that, dog. So
No.
Hey, you enjoy the rest of the day off, my dog. And when we got to get you in the studio.
Hey, for sure, man. Thank y'all for having me. Much appreciated.
Got to get you on that grill too.
Oh man, hey, I'm a no. When I'm there, I like when either Spike Dog when Spike Dog grill, or when he have his guys come over and grill. Like that always works for me. So.
We sit out there and really catch up on some good stuff.
Hey, right. Hey, Spike. Hey, man. Hey, I can't believe. Hey, I know we out of time, man. But one of the best times I ever had though in the A's when we went done that striper fishing. Remember that?
Oh,
caught all those striper fishing and came back and had that big old fish broil, and all the people came. Ooh, so much
Shout
fun.
Out to DL Warfield, Garrison Hurst.
Yeah, man. Great time.
Yeah, bro.
So, but yeah, man. Well, shucks, man. You guys have a good one, and I appreciate it.
All right, fam.
Appreciate you.
Hold it down.
Much love.
Yes, sir.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Behind the Mask podcast.
Indulge, share, and subscribe to quality content.